A veterinarian named Lambert goes to a pet chimpanzee's enclosure. He is there to give the chimp shot, but seems rather agitated. Lambert pulls out the short, but turns back and finds the chimp missing. Lambert notices that he has hidden inside his sleeping den. He tries to lure him out using his favorite toy, but the chimp suddenly grabs his hand and pulls him inside. He then rips Lambert's face and bludgeons him to death. The story then shifts back to 36 hours earlier. Lucy is boarding a flight while talking to her sister Erin. She is returning home after several years. She bumps into a guy named Drew who tries to flirt with her, but she pays no attention to him. Erin says that their father Adam is going to go to a book signing event, but Lucy says that she will be there with her. She sits next to her best friend Kate, who says that she doesn't have to worry about anything. She will have a great summer with her family after all that they have been through, and she will be there next to her at all times. Just then Hannah enters the plane. Drew's friend Brad helps her with her luggage to flirt. Kate says she invited her for the summer, but Lucy is not at all fond of her. But she doesn't say anything about it and tries to bear with her. They land in Hawaii, and Kate is welcomed by her brother Nick. Hannah has taken the guys' numbers. Her eyes get stuck on Nick as they are introduced. Lucy hugs Nick as well and is flustered as she has always had a huge crush on him. She tells everyone that her father is going to be out of town for the weekend, and Kate suggests that they can have the entire house for the party. They reach Lucy's home, and she finds her dad in a meeting with his publisher. Adam is deaf and mute. He immediately halts his meeting and hugs his daughter. Kate also meets him and introduces him to Hannah. They say that they are going to keep Lucy company while he's gone. Nick comes there and tells him that he is also going to stay over the weekend to keep an eye out for the girl's safety. Adam is aware of his daughter's crush on him and says that she should try to make her move on him. But Nick doesn't understand sign language, so Lucy says that he was just thanking Nick for staying over the weekend. He then tells Lucy that someone is waiting for her upstairs. He also tells her about how sorry he is to be leaving, but promises that he will be back in a few days. She goes to meet Erin, who is pissed off at her as she didn't come back for a couple of years. Lucy apologizes but promises to make up for lost time. She then says that she has brought a teddy for someone. A hand comes out from under the bed and pulls the teddy. Turns out that they have a pet chimpanzee named Ben. Ben uses a soundboard software to convey that he is happy about Lucy being back. They introduce Ben to Hannah, who is scared at first. Lucy says that Ben wants to shake hands with her. She does it reluctantly, but Ben is very calm and she eases around him immediately as well. Hannah gets up in the middle of the night and roams around the house. She spots a picture of Lucy with her mom. Just then Nick comes there and she asks him about Lucy's mom. He says that she died of cancer a couple of years back, and since then, the family has drifted apart. He also says that her mother was a linguistics expert and was researching how to communicate better with animals. She was the one to bring Ben home. They get closer, but Nick pulls away before something happens. While roaming around, she spots a pool and immediately goes there. She sits by it, but doesn't notice that Ben is sitting behind her as well. She gets scared and jumps out, but Ben is fixated on the water and starts to drool. Hannah notices that something is wrong with him. He extends his hand, and Hannah holds him as well. But Ben suddenly grabs it, and Hannah screams for help. Just then, Adam uses his whistle, and Ben immediately lets go of her hands. He calms Ben down and tells Hannah that Ben gets weird around strangers. He takes Ben away with him, but Hannah is still spooked. He takes Ben to his enclosure for the night and finds a dead mongoose inside. Ben points out that it got into his enclosure and bit him first. Adam inspects and finds a deep bite wound on him. He asks Ben to go to sleep, and he will tend to the wound in the morning. The next morning, Adam greets both his daughters and shows them the dead mongoose. He says that Ben was bitten by it, and he is going to call Lambert to check for rabies. He says that once he comes back from his trip, they will be able to have the long overdue family time that they have been waiting for. Nick shows up there shirtless, and both Erin and Adam pulls Lucy's leg about shooting her shot with him. The group spends a day enjoying the pool. Nick says that he is going to spend some more time with the girls. Lucy notices how close Ben and Hannah are getting. She asks Hannah to call the guys that she met on the plane to put her in an awkward position. But Hannah doesn't take offense and says that she will do that. But instead, she asks Lucy to be a little bold and ask the guys herself. She is hesitant at first, but all her friends push her to do so. She leaves them a voicemail asking them to hook up and shares her address. But soon after, she gets a call, but it's Kate's mother. Kate is hungover and starts to throw up. She takes Kate back to her bed and asks her to rest. Kate says that they are going to stick together no matter what. Hannah tells Nick that Lucy has a crush on her, but Nick dismisses it and says that he sees her as a little sister. Both of them kiss, and Lucy sees it with a broken heart. Soon after, Lambert gets there and gets ripped apart by Ben. Kate hears the scream and gets up. She goes to the kitchen to drink some water. Suddenly, she feels someone's presence and sees that it's just Ben's teddy. She thinks that Hannah is trying to prank her, but just then Ben appears there. She notices that Ben is drooling and doesn't recognize her anymore. Ben charges towards her, but she runs out and locks the door. Ben stands in front of the door, looking at her menacingly. Lucy comes there, and Kate says that Ben is acting differently. Lucy gets inside the room and calls for him, but he is missing. She finds his teddy lying on the floor, but has blood smeared all over. Kate says that it seemed like Ben was going to attack her, but Aaron comes there and says that he will never attack anyone. But just then, they hear Hannah screaming downstairs. They run towards the pool and finds Ben attacking Nick. He stops on Lucy's command, and she asks him about what's wrong with him. He is acting erratically and tries to point something out, but she can't understand anything. Nick says that there is rope and they should tie him up for safety. He slowly approaches the rope as Lucy keeps Ben distracted. He tries to grab it but accidentally turns on a toy, aggravating Ben. But before he does something, Nick throws it out in the ocean. He then slowly ties a knot on a rope as Lucy tries to comfort him. He finally recognizes and hugs her. Seizing the opportunity, she puts the rope around his neck, but makes him even more aggressive. They think that they have managed to contain him, but he lunges at Nick. He is stopped by the rope, and Kate says that they need to call Lambert immediately. But Hannah says that they need to shoot Ben down, which infuriates Lucy. She says that he is family, and they aren't going to kill him. But Hannah calls him a disgusting animal, causing a brawl between them. Aaron tries to understand what's wrong with Ben. Kate calls Lambert, but they hear that the phone is ringing in Ben's enclosure. They figure that Lambert is dead, but just then Ben rips the rope and bites Aaron on the leg. Nick fights him out, and Hannah tries to run out, but gets stopped by Ben. Nick asks everyone to jump in the pool, as chimps can't swim. Everyone does so, but Aaron is losing a lot of blood. Nick says that they need to stop the bleeding as soon as possible, and takes off his shirt. They tie it around her legs, as Ben keeps trying to attack her. Kate asks Lucy about what's wrong with him, but she has no answer. That's when Hannah asks if he has rabies. Everything clicks in her mind, and Aaron gets scared that she might get rabies as well. But Lucy reassures her that she will take her to the hospital before anything happens. She looks around but notices that they have no way to get out of the pool. All of them scream for help, but there's no one around their house to hear their screams. After some time, Ben walks over to the ledge and sits there. An idea comes to Nick's mind, and he says that he is going to push Ben off the cliff. He charges at him, and after a little struggle, drops Ben off. But Ben is still alive and throws Nick off the cliff as he bashes his head against a rock and dies. He then gets back on the ledge and laughs menacingly. Kate screams in anger and tries to attack Ben to avenge his brother's death. But Lucy stops her and tries to calm her down. The girls are slowly getting tired of swimming, and that's when Lucy notices a float. She slowly goes towards the float as Ben seems to be in complete trance. She slowly grabs the float and passes it to the girls. But instead of getting down in the water, she approaches Ben. She is trying to get her phone, as Ben seems to be completely unbothered. She is about to grab it, but it rings, alerting Ben. He is about to attack Lucy, but Kate comes out of the water and distracts him. Before Ben can attack her, she jumps in water. Lucy also manages to jump into the water with the phone before Ben can get a hold of her. They try to call 911, but the keypad is broken, so she can't. She then calls the last numbers, and the guys from the plane pick up. They are completely wasted and don't listen to their urges. Suddenly, Ben comes from the top and grabs Hannah by her hair. Everyone tries to help her, but Ben is too strong. He rips a chunk of her hair out before dropping her into the water again. Lucy has accidentally dropped her phone in water, and it's not working anymore. They have no other way to escape. Adam is signing his book when he gets a message from the veterinary clinic. The doctor says that the mongoose tested positive for rabies, so Ben might have gotten it as well. But Adam dismisses it and says that there is a 0% rate of rabies in Hawaii, so they should run the tests again. He calls Kate, but she doesn't have her phone with her. She notices that Ben is missing and wakes everyone else up. Lucy says that Aaron is catching a fever and she needs to get help. She leaves them in the water and gets out alone. But soon after, Kate joins her as well, and they both walk towards the house. Ben screams again, and both of them hide inside a closet. Ben gets down and shatters the remote into pieces. He then slowly approaches the wardrobe as both of them stay as silent as possible. But he is distracted again and goes back to watch the TV. But suddenly, he gets agitated and smashes the TV. Kate accidentally drops a bunch of products out of fear, and it alerts Ben. Both of them hide inside the clothes. Ben breaks open the door and gets inside the closet. They hold their breath as hard as possible, and after some time, Ben goes away. After he leaves, Lucy gets out and picks up her phone. But suddenly, she hears her name on the tablet. She gets scared and spots Ben sitting on the pillar. He was just hiding so that they come out. He then jumps on her and starts to punch her. Lucy knocks him out using a shovel, and both of them get out of the house and lock the door. Ben sits in front of it for some time and then tries to open the lock. Lucy is horrified as he has started to develop a stronger sense of self. He then goes back to the TV and notices how he had broken it earlier. An idea comes to his mind, and he runs towards the door, shattering the glass. Both of them run, but Kate falls down the stairs and Ben grabs her. Lucy gets back to help her, but Ben smashes her head with a rock as Lucy watches in horror. She runs again but falls. Ben lunges at her, but Hannah gets up from the pool and ties the rope around his neck. She pulls the rope to get him away from Lucy. He eventually leaves her, and both girls manage to jump into the pool. Hannah keeps pulling the rope so that she can drag Ben inside and drown him. Lucy joins her as well, and they put in all the effort that they can. But they are not nearly as strong as Ben, and he eventually overpowers both of them. They have agitated him even more, and he is out for their blood. Adam keeps messaging the girls between his meeting, but no one replies. Something comes to his mind, and he leaves from there immediately. After some time, both Brad and Drew show up at the house completely wasted. They notice that the house is completely empty. They call for the girls, but no one answers. But unbeknownst to them, Ben is watching them from afar. Both of them part ways, and Drew gets up in Erin's room. He finds her phone and sees the innumerable missed calls, but pays no attention to them. He lies on her bed and notices Erin's picture with Ben. Suddenly, he hears a growl and finds Ben just beside him. Ben then approaches him from the front as he tries different ways to tame him. He then takes out his keys and starts to play with him, which seems to work. He throws away the key and asks Ben to fetch it, but instead, he pulls Drew by the legs and pins him on the bed. He gets up on Drew, and Drew tries to be intimidating, but it does not affect him. He then puts his hand inside Drew's mouth and rips open his jaw. Brad hears his scream, but doesn't pay much attention to it. He finds the girl asleep on the float. The girls notice him and ask him to stay quiet, but he doesn't listen. Ben is standing right beside him, but he has no idea. Suddenly, he sees something right in front of him and picks it up only to realize that it's a jaw. Just then, Ben jumps from behind and attacks him. Hannah says that Ben is distracted and gets out of the pool. She slowly gets upstairs as Ben is busy lynching Brad. She gets inside the house and spots the car keys. She takes them and runs inside the car. She tries to start it, but the keys don't work. She notices the belongings inside and figures that she is inside the guy's car. She finds the actual outside. She steps out but finds Ben sitting right outside. She immediately gets back in and dials 911 as Ben slowly approaches her. She tells the operator that she is being hunted, and the operator asks for her address, but she has no idea what it is. Just then, Ben shows her the keys to the car. He opens the door and Hannah locks it from inside. He keeps on teasing her by opening the door again and again as she keeps on closing it. She tries to get help from the operator, but just then the back door of the car opens. She slowly unlocks the door, but Ben is already beside her. He drags her inside the car and tears her apart in pieces. Only the sisters are left alive now, and Lucy needs to get help before Erin dies. She gets out of the water and slowly goes upstairs. She finds Kate's body lying on the floor, which breaks her heart. She accidentally steps on a piece of glass, but stops herself from letting a scream out. She sits down to pull the glass from her feet, but Ben appears there. But just then, he also hears Adam's car pull up and tries to get a glance at him. Adam walks inside the house, but doesn't notice anything suspicious. Ben appears behind him, but he can't hear anything. Lucy gets in there, and Ben follows her. She tries to hide under the sofa, but Ben pulls her out of it. Adam can't hear any commotion and moves freely. Ben finally stops and looks at her. He extends his hand just like he used to while greeting someone. Lucy holds his hand as well, but it was just a trick as he breaks her arm. She stabs her finger in his wound and forces him to let her go. She then hides under the sofa as Ben tries to grab her. Aaron comes there and he starts to follow her. He grabs her and attacks her as well, but Lucy immediately tackles Ben and frees Aaron. Adam goes inside Aaron's room and sees the bloody massacre up there. Ben slowly approaches towards Aaron again, but Lucy throws a bottle at him. He immediately attacks her and pins her down. He then puts his finger in her mouth and is about to tear her jaw. But just then, he hears the whistle that Adam uses and stops. The girls get free, but he lunges at Adam and bites his leg. Adam starts to beat him up, but he is way too powerful and pins him down. Lucy comes there with a shovel and keeps on hitting him, but the shovel soon breaks and Ben knocks her out with a slap. Adam jumps on him, but he is too powerful and smashes his head, leaving him unconscious. He stops for a moment, and just then Adam notices a wine bottle. He smashes it on Ben's head and jabs the glass in his heart. Ben slowly dies of excessive bleeding. Adam finally hugs his daughters and breaks down, but Ben is still alive and charges towards them. Lucy pushes both of them out, and Ben and she fall from the first floor. But fortunately Adam grabs her hand as Ben falls to his death. Both Adam and Aaron bring her up, and they are finally safe. Police arrives there soon and takes Aaron in emergency care. Adam apologizes for not being there, but Aaron points out that he is there now, and that's all that matters. Suddenly Lucy hears her name on the software, but it's just from a one that the cops have retrieved. You were watching a recap of the 2025 film Primate. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed